Indeed. Hello. You're here a little bit sooner than I anticipated. But nevertheless, I am prepared for your arrival. I was told, pardon me. Yes, I was told you need an assortment of throwaways for your next operation. Yes, all of these weapons I have personally picked out for you. They are of the common variety, common ammo types, so no one will really suspect anything. Let me show you what we have, and then we can move on to the table, and I can demonstrate and show you the features of each of these weapons. Very well. First off, we have the Ruger P89. This is a personal favorite of mine. Alright. And we have your standard 38 revolver, Smith & Wesson. And then we have an HK USP. And last but not least, we have a Taurus 1911. So if you will follow me, I can get you started, and we can take a look at these weapons in depth. How would you like them? Very well, sir. Right this way. Okay, now that I have your attention on the table, let me present to you the first of our offerings. The Ruger P89. Now this firearm has a long and complicated history. It was first offered to the U.S. Army to replace the 1911. It failed, of course, but we're not going to get into that. This weapon has seen a long history in law enforcement and private security, and it is also used by multiple foreign nations in the Middle East as their surface pistol. It is also a collector's piece for firearms enthusiasts because of its age. Now, when the handgun first came out, it saw extensive use as a throwaway weapon because it was cheap and accessible. So criminals and assassins of the sort would pick one up at a local pawn shop or buy it from their local gun store. So that is why it is an offering today, because it is extremely common, and most of these weapons have seen 6 or 7 private owners and private sellers, so the chances of it being traced back to you is very slim. We do have 2 offerings of magazines today. A 10 round magazine. If you're not planning on getting into any prolonged gunfights. And we also have a 17 round magazine in case you want the extra little bit of ammunition. But of course, a man of your stature, I do not foresee you getting into any prolonged fights with law enforcement or even the targets of security. Our next offering today is a Smith & Wesson. Now, I am unfamiliar with the model of this particular. I know it is an old Smith & Wesson police pistol from the 80s or 70s, around that time. It is chambered in 38. Now, this particular piece was broken, and you will not be receiving this pistol. You will be receiving a newer one, but it is chambered in 38. It is not a very uncommon round, so no one will be asking too many questions if you decide to go to the store and buy some ammo. Now, if you look closely, you will see that this pistol has no firing pin. But it was used in law enforcement for many, many years. It is a very reliable handgun. I don't particularly recommend this piece due to its limited nature, being a revolver only holding 6 rounds. But if this is the piece that you want for your mission, I will supply you with the proper tools to use it. Now, our next piece is a little bit more common, but also a little bit exotic and uncommon. We have a USP, an HK USP. This is a very popular handgun, very common handgun to find, but the difference between this particular one, it is not chambered in 9mm, and it is not chambered in 45. This particular one is chambered in 40 Smith & Wesson. It's still a common enough round that no one will bat any eye if you have to buy any extra, but it's a little out there. If you use, the cops will be confused due to the lack of 40 cals being used in modern day crimes. The most common caliber to be used in a crime is 9mm, and the second most common is 45. So not uncommon to use, but also it's not going to bat any eyes. This particular one does come with a flared magwell, but that is the extent of the upgrades on this piece. If you do wish, we can add upgrades to this pistol, such as a compensator and a cut sight, but as you specifically said, throwaways, I would not recommend that. It has a safety decocker on it, and these pistols have been used in military and law enforcement. So reliable handguns nonetheless, but it being 40 cal kind of limits its effectiveness. We do offer an 18 round magazine. We do not offer anything larger due to the fact no one really picks these weapons, but they are very reliable. They are very unique, I would say. 40 Smith & Wessons aren't really good at anything. They're also not bad at anything. So that is the Smith & Wesson 40 cal. And then the final weapon I picked out for you is none other than the 1911. This particular one is made by Torres, so it is on the cheaper side, but these firearms are extremely reliable. I've had this one for quite a while. I've had no problems with it. (1911s) are extremely reliable pieces, and they are extremely common too. So if you need to buy 45 ammunition, no one will really if the cops are asking around local gun stores, you buying 45 won't stand out. So they won't really remember you, and the cops will have to find another lead. Like I said before, we can offer you a threaded barrel, change the grips out, but we do not offer sights for the Taurus. This 1911 we can offer you with the standard 8-round capacity magazine, and we offer an extended 10-round magazine. If you were to pick this one, I would recommend one 8-round magazine and carry 2 extra 10-round magazines with you in reserve due to the pistol's limited capacity. That would bring you to a total of 28 rounds with 3 mags. This one would obviously be in the gun first to make it more concealable, and in case for some reason you are having a bad day, further guards. But like I said, it's a beautiful piece. You can never go wrong with 45. And that is it for the mains. Now, just in case you need to take someone out silently, I have a few options that I want to show you real quick. I have this sweet 2-foot, 2.5, 2-foot baton. This is an excellent close quarters combat weapon. It is not too big, and it collapses down so you can fit it in your pocket. Just in case someone gets a little too close and you need to take them out silently. I highly recommend these over anything else because they are concealable, they can be non-lethal, and they hurt a lot. And finally, I have this extraordinary handcrafted K-bar. In case you want to take them out silently with no shots fired, this knife will do the trick. It has a 7.5-inch blade. I think 7. Yeah, it's about 8. It's about 8 inches. It's not 7. But this will take anyone out. Just get behind them. You can either stab them or you can slit their throat. Either way, your enemies will be having a very, very bad day. I almost forgot. Would you like to see our item of the day? Oh, yes. It's not a throwaway. I would not recommend throwing it away. It is a very unique handgun. I don't see too many of these. They are quite hard to come by. Would you like to see it? Of course. Of course, my friend. I am indeed talking about the Ruger 5.7. I've had this longer than any other of my weapons. This is a custom pistol. It's got a flashlight, comfort grips, optical sight on it, and it has a hair trigger on it. So you touch it as soon as the trigger safety gets released, your round will fire. It has a nice optical sight on there. We do offer threaded barrels for suppressors, in case that's what you wanted. This weapon comes with an impressive 30 round magazine, hence a 20 round standard capacity with a 10 round extension on it, giving you a total of 30 rounds. The weapon is kind of chambered in a crazy round, the 5.7. So if you have to use ammo, apologies, my allergies. If you do have to use ammo for this weapon, buy some at the store. You shouldn't have to. For odd rounds like this, we like to keep you stocked up. But for whatever reasons, if you do, be very careful, because if you go to the store and you buy 5.7 and the cops come looking and they ask, it will be a lot more likely that he remembers you if you purchase some of this. And that is all of the weapons we have today. I will meet you out back, and you can tell me what you would like. Please, sir, follow me. As you can see, fine weapons indeed. Which ones will you like to acquire for your mission? Excellent choices. I'll have these weapons sent over to you momentarily. They will be dropped off discreetly at an agreed upon location. As always, it's nice to meet you.